Welcome to Flock University, live from Cugino's Pizzaria in Rensselaer, 240 Broadway. Man, oh man, we got the Flock here. What's up, Flock? They all got calzones in their mouth. That's you see. Everybody got pizza and calzones. Here comes Holland, and here comes man. We got everybody coming in at the right time. Look at this. All right, well, let's get it started. Let's introduce the man, the professor himself. He is the head coach, the general manager, the offensive coordinator. I believe that he actually makes a mean pizza. It is Damon Ware, everybody. Sitting over here quietly watching his phone, and he's already in trouble because the owner is not a fan of the Eagles, is Darius Prince, everyone. Darius Prince. A bunch of the players are in the back now getting ready to eat. Coach, it's good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you since Sunday.
We don't see each other as much. We're all over the place right now and getting ready for another short week game. So, it's grind time and not a moment to spare.
When it's set up like a sprint like this, because it is, I mean, you went Sunday to Friday, then it's going to be June 1st. So Saturday the 1st, we're going to be in Nashville. Then the 8th, we're going to be in West Texas. How do you keep the guys fresh? Is there a mental motivation in telling everybody it's a sprint? It's only 10 games. Like how do you do it?
I mean, we opened up talking about that in training camp, that it would be a sprint and there wouldn't be any bye weeks. And so we've had a plan in place since training camp. So, but obviously it's tough. It's a challenge, especially on the short weeks. Like this week, we had, our week 2 was a short week. We've got this week as a short week. Those are tough games. And so, for us as a coaching staff, it's just keeping our players healthy. That's the most important part. And so I think we've done that for the most part, is keeping our guys healthy. And, we're looking forward to another fun game on Friday night.
Fun game on Friday night. And we will get to the preview of that game, of course. But first things, our quarterback, number 5, walking in right now, Jake Medlock. I got Derek Townsend. Like, everybody's walking in. I love these guys, man. You tell them there's pizza available, our guys will show up and they'll rock out. I enjoy it. That's why I love this team. I can relate to them. Just a great group of guys. It's
absolutely
Cugino's Pizzeria. It's a family vibe. It's tables. It's got the red, the green, the Italian feel to it. It feels good to have our family here. This team feels a lot like a family.
Absolutely. We got a great group of guys that came here to the Capital Region. Bunch of guys that they like each other. We like being around each other, and so that's always great. The last couple championship teams we had were like this, that they enjoy each other, they respect each other, and ultimately you win together. So that's an important thing.
Absolutely. All right, so Coach, let's kind of catch people up on where we are and how we got here. Again, we are live from Cugino's. We'd love if you stop by, grab some pizza. Just found out about the Huge Lou Challenge.
Right.
All right, so the Huge Lou Challenge is a 5-pound calzone that you have to eat in 30 minutes. How much damage could you do in 30 minutes?
I think only about half of that.
Still 2.5 pounds. That's not bad.
Right.
Like, everybody looks at me, they're like, you're fat. You can probably eat a lot. I can eat a lot. I can't eat fast.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes, I'd probably get about halfway through and be laying on the ground crying.
Right. Be in a food coma.
That bread just be blowing up in there.
That'd be brutal.
Well, and the worst part is I'm sure it's amazing. You watch everybody eating here. We haven't sampled yet. We're going to in a little bit. You see everybody smile and enjoy themselves. There's nothing worse than not liking great tasting food because you ate 5 pounds of it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
that's a bit much.
I'd like to see somebody do it.
Come on down. Get yourself the Lou.
Yeah.
And do your thing. We'll be here to watch.
Which one of our guys do you think would have the best chance of actually taking down the Huge Lou Challenge? It's probably not the big guys. It's always like the little. It's always like the little guys who can eat.
Yep.
Like Ferry and Tony. I bet you Ferry could 5-pound calzone 30 minutes. Could you eat it? Could you eat a 5-pound calzone in 30 minutes? He goes, no. The problem is
he can do
it. Our director of game day ops, you couldn't do it. I guarantee you can't do it.
We might have to let him try.
I think we should let him try. I think this has become a thing.
Absolutely.
I think he's already eating, though. We're going to have to bring him back another time when he's got an empty stomach.
Yep.
All right, so we know what the next episode of Flock University Live from Cugino's is going to be about.
The Lou.
All right, so Coach, we get to 3-0. I know there was debate whether or not we wanted to even take the forfeit. How did we get to 3-0? Where are we? How do we get to that before we even had a chance to play our third game?
I mean, we've beat 3 opponents. That's how we got to 3-0. We beat a very good Orlando team, a very good Nashville team, and ultimately Southwest Kansas Storm. We took care of those challenges and came out on top. Ultimately, again, the worst part was the Minnesota game. Ultimately, we were scheduled to go to Minnesota, and we booked our tickets, and we were ready to go and enjoy the Twin Cities as much as we could. And ultimately, they couldn't do it. They had the Minnesota Timberwolves playing in their arena, so we brought the game back here to the Capital Region, which was great. Nobody can complain about another home game, and then ultimately they couldn't do that as well, and ultimately folded, and that's an unfortunate thing, and it's just a part of the game you just never want to see. It's there's a lot of moving parts in the course of the season, and the last thing you want to see is somebody fold shop and ruin a date that you've got with your home crowd. So luckily it was a bonus game. It wasn't that big of a deal, but still, it's not a fun moment to go through those things and ultimately have a bye week on a week that you didn't think you were going to have one.
All right, so I see people trying to correct me to 4-0. I know how we got to 4-0, and that was a 66-15 win over the Southwest Kansas Storm. Coach, this game, I love when I sound like I know what I'm talking about, and it's rare. But I have been mentioning, like, I saw what you and the other coaches and the guys were building in practice. I saw it click more. The overtime win over the Predators, that was just that was gut, that was grit, that determination. Then it was the game against Nashville where the ball bounces the wrong way a couple times, and all of a sudden we look like we're in trouble, but we get that done in a pretty commanding fashion. I said we looked like we were clicking, and when we did click, it was going to be a problem. Holy clicks. Like this, could you have drawn that one up any better, the 66-15 win over the Storm?
I mean, as a coach, you're never satisfied. You're never as satisfied as you think you are, and it's never as bad as you think it is. But ultimately, our ceiling is still higher. We still got a lot of work to do to be a great football team. We still had several errors throughout the course of the game. But ultimately, it was 3-phase game, and we played well in all 3 phases and allowed us to win the game. So again, it's always exciting. Getting wins is the most important part, obviously, and we were able to do that. But we're still need to forge forward. Still need to play our best football. Ultimately, for us, our goal is to play our best football the second half of the season. We're still technically in the first. And like I said, we're going to play a very good team in the West Texas Desert Hawks, who have a great roster. And, let's see what happens with that challenge.
Coach, let's talk quarterback room. So Jake Medlock, has he always run? He's a threat through the air and he's a threat on the ground. Has he always been a running kind of quarterback?
So, yeah, he's always been an athletic quarterback, not a running quarterback, somebody that looks to run, but somebody that when all things break down, the pocket breaks down, he can go out and get yardage, and he's a bigger, stronger quarterback, and he's done a great job of rolling out of the pocket when he needs to and running the ball and getting us first downs and touchdowns when we need them.
So again, like when he got here, the joke was he's built like a linebacker. He runs like a linebacker. He hits. He looks for contact. When you're out there on the headset calling the plays and you see Medlock number 5 looking for contact, is it under the breath or out loud that you're swearing at him?
Obviously we talk about in the quarterback room as just not taking unnecessary shots, but when we're in control of things and again, I understand the moxie of it, the attitude it takes to run somebody over and get a touchdown. I can appreciate that as well, but obviously we don't want our quarterbacks to take any unnecessary shots. All it takes is one good hit and things can change in a hurry, but we're doing a great job obviously with our backup. It was great. We wanted to get Lou a chance to play in a high-pressure situation. We wanted to know what we got. We feel tremendously about what Evan Lewandowski's done throughout the training camp. So, like I said, about midway through the second quarter, I said, no matter what happens, you get in the second half. And, ultimately we were able to pull ahead and get a good lead, but still, close enough where it's a high-pressure situation. Evan came in, went 7 for 10, threw for 4 touchdowns. And so he showed that he is the future here, and we're excited to have him.
The old saying is if you have 2 quarterbacks, that means you don't really have one. That's not true in this game, though, right?
No, we've got 2 excellent quarterbacks that we could win games with. And we got a 1A and 1B, and that's a great thing to have. Obviously, you always need to have 2 quarterbacks at your disposal. You never know how things go. Obviously, knock on wood, we never want an injury to happen to our signal caller, but you've got to have 2 guys ready to play. It's a long season. It's a sprint, again, with minimal bye weeks. Obviously, you've got to have 2 guys that can spin it, and we do that. Have 2 guys that are great players and can move us down the field.
It's Flock University live from Cugino's Pizzaria in Rensselaer. We're having a great time. The guys are all enjoying the food right now. I do love that everybody's got a salad. That's smart. Everybody doing the right thing. And, of course, it is Flock University, which can be heard on Fox Sports Radio 95.9 and 980. Coach, this will be a special edition because the game is on Friday. We normally are aired Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Gaz has told me this will air before the game on Friday night. So we will be on there, so you'll be able to hear it there. Tell us a little bit more about Lewandowski. Is he athletic? Does he run? Because again, I've seen him in practice, but I've never seen anything like what we saw with the 4 touchdown passes.
So, Evan played at Wisconsin Whitewater, a very good quality Division III school. He's on his film. He was very athletic, a pocket passer, but somebody that could get out of the pocket and make plays. And he's done that for us. And we want both of our quarterbacks to understand that, hey, there's at times things will break down, and we want you to go be an athlete. And so we've got 2 guys that when they need to go be an athlete, they can do that.
Yeah, it's same with the team president. I just got it whenever I'm needed. I'm very, very spry for a fat guy. All right. So also, here we go. Another great performance from Darius Prince. I've heard a lot of like jokes. I've told a lot of jokes about Darius, but like, when will he slow down? The guy is tough as nails. I've seen him wrapped in ice and stim packs and everything else, and then go catch 5 touchdowns. Like, how does he continue to do this?
He's the toughest receiver in the game right now. There's just nobody that will go attack a football like him. And again, his body hasn't taken a lot of abuse. He was a college basketball player. So a lot of that abuse that would have happened during college football, he did not sustain. And so his body's right at his prime right now. And so, everybody, thinks they can stop him and keep him out of the end zone. But we have a lot of unique ways of getting him the football, and he never disappoints.
I've been hearing that more and more from these other teams, these other fan bases, that there's some player, it's always number such and such can't wait to get a hold of number 6 and this, that. Like, what do they see? What do you think they see that leads them to believe they're the guy who might be able to slow them down?
And I get it. When you're talking about your team, you've got to say those things that you can slow down somebody that's dominant. But we've got a very diverse offense. We do a lot of different things, a lot of innovative things that a lot of other people don't do. So we got a lot of ways that we can get number 6 the ball. And he's such a team guy. He's not looking to get the ball every play, and he has no problem being a decoy for 4 quarters. And as long as he gets a couple touches, he's more than happy to do those things for the team. Ultimately, all he wants to do is win, and that's again, that you've got a great guy when they're like that. When they're like, I don't care about my individual statistics, I just care about team goals. And so he's one of those players that people probably wouldn't understand. He literally would be a decoy for 4 quarters if he needed to be to win a game.
And then we've got, Markel Wade, Darian Townsend, just throwing Barry Tony. These are all guys that would be ones on almost every other team in this league. And they're like they're 1Bs, they're right there. But like, what does it take to get those guys? Are they chomping at the bit to play with a Darius Prince, or do you have to convince them that they're going to get theirs too?
It's tough, and that's we go through that in the recruiting process. That coming here is a tough place to play. We have the best athletes in the country that come here to the Capital Region and want to win championships. So coming in here, you have to be a team-first guy. You cannot be worried about individual statistics and come here and do a good job. And so we do have a lot of athletes that could be superstars on other teams. They choose to be with us because they want to win. And ultimately, again, You look at Darian Townsend. Last couple games, we found some ways to be able to get him involved in the offense and catch touchdowns, and he had 3 touchdown catches from Evan Lewandowski in the second half. Those are big moments, and we'll continue to just be innovative and find our playmakers a way to get the ball and be successful. And so, you can shut down one, but we really do have 6 receivers that could light up the scoreboard at any time.
Before we get into next week's game and all of that, what's the thing that, like, Coach, when you're breaking down the film here at Flock University, what's something that you saw that you're like, I wish everyone else noticed our guys do this or this guy did that? Like, because I know there's always something that's underappreciated when you look at great athletes. For years it was blocking. Like, nobody paid attention to blocking. Like, what is it that our team does that people just don't notice?
I mean, it's everything. We take the game very serious. We put in an 8-hour day every day on football. And so it's the little things, it's the little details, the preparation that makes us who we are here. We're a special place. We have a special culture. And so there's not one thing in particular that I would say is, I'd like people to realize or see, but just watch across the board. Our players love to play the game of football. They love to be with the Albany Firebirds, and they play every snap like it could be their last, and that's the important piece.
Flock University head coach Damon Ware here. The guys are enjoying some food at Cugino's. I did notice even Medlock, he's still throwing passes. He got everybody a napkin. He's still taking care of his guys. He's still a team leader vibe, always there for you. Coach, we have new players coming in too as well, correct?
Yeah. There's always a need to make a couple small adjustments to the roster. I'm big on keeping our guys together. And so it does take a lot for me to change some pieces on the roster, but sometimes it's necessary. And so we let go of a couple of linemen, Bam and Joe Banafti, great, rookie, great kid. He's right there, but again, we felt that we could be a little bit better there. And also Justice Smith, another offensive lineman that we let go this week. Ultimately, we brought in, Dwayne Wallace, kid that started games for San Antonio, the XFL last year. There's a lot of these kids out there that from the USFL and XFL merger that just don't have a place to play. And that's, also part of the reason why when we talked on one of our shows about all the negativity out there, we need all these places to play because there's not enough places for kids to play. And so Dwayne Wallace is one of those kids, played at Cal. He's had a great career, been with, obviously San Antonio of the XFL. And ultimately, again, he just hasn't been able to crack that seal on getting into the UFL. Ultimately, he's a great football player. We wanted to bring him in here and add him to a great culture. He's come in, enjoyed himself. He's having a great time, and he'll be a part of our roster going forward. We also picked up a defensive lineman, great kid, another kid, started with the, St. Louis Battlehawks of the XFL last year in Eric Hansen. Eric Hansen's from Upper Iowa, has, the single season sack record, single game sack record at Upper Iowa. Has played in the XFL. He's another kid that's just right there at the edge of getting back into the UFL. For me, as I've always said, I'm going to bring in the best athletes in the country, and we're going to produce, a great culture and a great football team. And so any chance that I can get to upgrade our roster and make our roster even better as we each inch forward towards the playoffs, I'm going to do it. And so signing 2 kids with that caliber was a no-brainer for me, and we're really excited to have them on our team.
It's almost, listen, a lot of people have taken credit for a lot of things in the Albany market when it comes to arena football, when it comes to everything. You have this pipeline of young talent that looks up to you, that wants to play for you. Like, the amount of emails I get from, hey, I was on this team. I would just like a chance to talk to Coach Ware. How do you build that? Because it's something that it's a level of respect that you just don't see in a lot of places.
You got to take care of your guys. I'm old school, but I'm still a player's coach. And ultimately, I have a plan for every single player that walks through our door. And that it takes time. It's in the way we recruit. We recruit a little differently than everybody else does. We take these kids through the ringer before we decide to bring them in. As I always say, a kid's got to really, really, really want to be here before I'll actually get him signed to a contract. I've got to feel that love for the Capital Region and wanting to be here. And so, but ultimately it's about building value in these kids. And that's one thing I've done over my career is, I've been a lot of places and I've created a lot of value for players. And so ultimately, what does most of the players want to do? They want to come into a league like this and also want a shot at, moving up to, currently the UFL, the CFL, or the NFL. And so, I've produced a lot of players that I've been able to move up. And so, again, building that value, knowing that you can come in someplace and somebody's going to teach you the game. They're not going to, treat you in a foul manner, and they're going to be all about the game, and they're going to have a plan for you. And that's the key thing is I truly, and every coach, I make them participate in that process is we want to know every little detail about a player. Obviously, all these players come in with weaknesses and strengths. We want to make sure that we have a plan for every little detail of that. And that's, that's part of what we do here. And that gets out, and that gets out in the open, and players want to come play for a coach that does that.
All right, so Flock University live, Cugino's Pizzaria, right here in Rensselaer, 240 Broadway. I'm going to ask a question that I don't even want to ask. Why is it arena football for you? You obviously have a pathway to outdoor if you want. Like you talk about our guys working hard, getting a chance to move up UFL, CFL, possibly NFL. Why have you chosen this level of football for your expertise?
I've been at all the higher levels, and it takes a great deal of time. And my biggest thing is I'm a family guy, and so to have my son's got one more year of high school. He'll go into his senior year next year. Obviously, that was the most important thing for me. And arena football, obviously, it's in a time where I can still be a part of my family's life on a regular basis and still take my son to school every morning. And then again, I get my busy period, and then for a short time, and then it's summertime, and again, my son can spend the rest of the time with me. So, those are part of the reasons why you choose to be, in arena football. But when you build something special, I've never been the one to have one foot out the door. And a lot of people do that. They coach and they're always looking for what's that next opportunity, or whoever gives me a job, I'm going to be out of here. And I've never coached like that. Maybe when I was a young coach, you feel like that. But as I've matured, how do you coach with one foot out the door? You won't give your all to something if you're always looking for something else. And so, as I said, when I came to the Capital Region right after COVID, it was just special because a year of football was taken from me. And when I got here and I saw the people and the arena and the people around it, and meeting, you and Mike and the individuals that really cared about the game, it became infectious. And ultimately, again, I want to do this for the next 10 years and be right here in the Capital Region winning championships. Is there always the thought that, hey, if the right offer came along in the outdoor game, would I entertain it? Yeah, I would entertain it. Obviously networking is important in our business, but I don't have one foot out the door. I'm not looking for another opportunity. I'm looking to win another, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 championships right here in the Capital Region. And I will continue to be here as long as the Capital Region will have me.
You said, family is important to you. And obviously we know that the coach's coach, the boss's boss, Nani Ware is watching. Hi, Nani. Everybody, hi, Nani. She's the best. She's so nice. Like I didn't know she was in your office the other day. I went to drop stuff on your desk. I opened the door and she's standing. I'm like, I'm sorry. And she's like, no, come here. She's just good people. It is Flock University, Coach Ware and myself and all the guys. If you want to come to Cugino's right now and hang out and legitimately break bread with the Firebirds, this is your chance to do it. We're here tonight. We're having a great meal, and cannot wait. I was a little shocked. Coach Ware, Lou came over, said, what do you want in your pizza? And you said lots of meat and jalapenos, and I was like, oh my God, we really are brothers. Like we really have become family, because that's exactly what I want. Meat and jalapeno. Oh, I know it. Oh, yeah.
Let's not talk about. Wait a second. After the morning we had,
just off. For those of you listening, Darius Prince has taken issue with our pizza order.
Oh Lord.
I hope you get a whole wing in your beard. I hope you get a whole wing in your beard. I hope you do. All right, let's move on. He waits for that one moment. He waits
Of course.
All right. How did you two, like, you guys are very different dudes. How did you two become so close? Coach Ware and Darius Prince. And like, you guys have, like I said, you guys are brothers. Like, you're separated at birth or something. I don't know what it is, because you guys have, when you guys get together, it is, you can't keep you two under wraps. Like, you get going.
We have a lot of fun, but we work hard, and that's the thing. We work hard and play hard, and he's a character, and he keeps me on my toes. He keeps me young, and so I've always enjoyed. Again, I told the story 1,000 times. He was my first recruit here, and the rest is history. And I enjoy watching people at their best that will give their all to accomplish a goal, and so. I'm the same way from the coaching aspect. He's the same way from a player aspect. And we just came together at a perfect time in his career. And we've just done nothing but special things together. So hopefully we can get him another MVP this year and another championship ring. And he can continue to build memories for his life and his kids.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to say nothing, because I don't know, everything I say, he turns it on me. So it's that Philadelphia in him.
Ask him about this morning.
What happened this morning, Darius? You want to jump on Mike? He's chewing. He's chewing a wing. He's eating a wing right now. He said, "I love how the kids gravitate to Prince too. Like, which I always love that. Like when I first met Darius, he played for Philadelphia, and of course, as an Albany guy, I hated him because he's so freaking good. And then he gets here, and I started making fun of him. Like, finally, you're in the right uniform, and it's just, he's so good. You think he might be." Wouldn't want to spend time with the kids, but handing those footballs on, that's real. That's really who he is.
1,000%.
Right.
Excellent kid, and loves the game, and he loves to be a part of the community. That's exactly why we invited him up here this offseason to come up and spend part of his life here in the Capital Region, and those are all special things. And we definitely appreciate him and what he's brought to the organization.
Absolutely. So wait, you're Nani checked in. Now one of Darius's best friends has just checked in too. Darius, I'm just gonna tell you what he said. You tell me who it is. Darius, I'm gonna tell you who he said. You tell me who it is. Here we go. Buka Dan. All right. So all right,
Here we go.
Here we go. You can hear him during the game.
1,000%.
Like, during it, him and his son are running, like, first his kids running back and forth, and all of a sudden, Buka Dan's running. It's fun. The community has embraced us better than ever before. All right, Coach. I want to talk about West Texas, but I keep seeing people asking a question that I feel like only the professor can answer accurately. Are there rule changes? Have we changed rules?
Yeah, definitely made a few adjustments. Obviously had a change in leadership at the top of the AFL, which was much needed. We were going through a little tough period, and we didn't want everybody to panic. And Jeff Fisher was able to take the reins, and a great respected football aficionado, and so that was a great thing. The Ironman rules have been tough, and we started the Ironman rules in 22 and ultimately won the championship and continued on in 23 and adjusting and all those things. And it's just something that isn't as common anymore of players playing both sides of the ball. It just happens a lot, less and less in today's game. So there's a lot of players that specialize in one position, and ultimately, again, it's with all the injuries, guys are bigger, stronger, and faster now than they've ever been. So again, playing an Ironman game is a pretty brutal, game on the body, and so it's a safety thing. And so we just with the collective group and everybody talking about safety and all the things that are necessary to continue to have great professional football seasons, we decided to go back to free substitutions. And so that'll go back to how we were in 2021, where guys play offense and guys play defense. And so I think it's a great thing. Obviously it's always tough to kind of adjust rules a little bit in the course of a season, and especially the way we recruited. I do think we're the best two-way football team in the country. but ultimately we're the best team in the country as well. And so we'll take these rule changes with a grain of salt. We'll adjust and adapt at practice, and we'll ultimately get ready for West Texas.
All right, let me ask the questions that pop into my brain right away, because obviously we're 4-0, we're clicking, everything feels good here. Is this team built to do free substitutions? Obviously, it was built perfectly for Ironman.
Again, do I think we give away a little bit of an advantage by changing the rules? I do, but I'm all for the greater good. If it's to help the players maintain better safety, if it's to help the league grow, I'm all for those things. And so if it means giving up maybe just a little fraction of our advantage, I'm okay with it. I will adjust and adapt. I will get our players to adjust and adapt, and ultimately, again, we're going to be just fine. We have a great football team, and so again, it's not going to take anything away from our performances by changing the rules.
All right, and who has celebrated this, and who has acted like, you know what, man, you're kind of taking half of what I like to do away?
Everybody really celebrates it.
Okay.
It's a tough thing to go in there and play several series, go back and forth, and run down on special teams and all those things. It can be brutal, especially for the bigger guys. And so, of course, the bigger guys are not going to want to do those things, and so, and that's okay. And ultimately, we made the best decision for the league moving forward. We want this league to grow and be the best, indoor league in the country moving forward. We took some very good steps, outside of a little bit of chaos. And so, we're going to do whatever it takes to make this league get back to its dominance, and we'll do whatever it takes to make everybody better.
All right. So I'm just trying to think of any other potential issues. So is this going to be this league moving forward, or is it something, all right, we're going to table this discussion, we'll have it in the off season? Where do you see it going?
We got to just get better every day. No different than our football team. The league's got to get better day by day. And so the owners are doing a great job of just coming together and redoing the schedule, putting everything into it, making sure the productions are right. And so all of those things ultimately, again, are going to get better and better. There's other teams that are looking to join, obviously, in the future. There's a lot of things going on in this business. And ultimately, again, we just want to be on the right side of things. Obviously, I think our organization is one of the best in the country. So we'll continue to be kind of that guiding light for some other franchises. But ultimately, again, we're all about the game and growing the game. And so whatever we need to do to grow the game and make it better, I think all of us have embraced that, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Levack University live from Cugino's Pizzaria in Rensselaer as we're hanging out. Apparently, our game day operations manager, Nick, is going to do the huge Lou challenge next time we come here. 5-pound calzone in 30 minutes.
Let's do it. Let's go.
I feel like he's going to fail, but yeah, I'll put money on it. I'll bet you. All right. You're not doing it today. Yeah. He's just had 5 slices of the pizza. All right. We'll see.
We'll do it though.
No, 100%. Like dude, this is the first time the team's been to Cugino's. It is not the last. Don't forget, you'll be able to listen to Levack University live on every Wednesday. We're all live on our YouTube, on the Firebirds Facebook, and then we play it back on Fox Sports Radio 95.9 and 980. It'll be Friday night of this week before the game kicks off. West Texas is good. They are arguably the second best team in the AFL, maybe the third best, depending upon how Orlando's playing that week. Tell us about this West Texas team. What do they bring to the table?
Veterans. Anytime you have good quality veterans at this level, you're going to be a little bit better, and especially starts with your signal caller. Jonathan Bain is obviously there. He's obviously been around the block many times, and so again, he's their signal caller. But a lot of players obviously that have been around here, and Calvin Fance and Kenny Veal and Jonathan Bain. And so a lot of these guys have had an opportunity to come through the Capital Region at some point in time of their career. But they've got a lot of good players. I mean, again, their receiving corps has got great veterans in Devin Wilson and Jordan Gandy. And they picked up Caleb Smith that we cut in training camp. We thought Caleb Smith was a great player, just young. And we had just a few too many vets ahead of him that that kind of prevented him from making our team, but they picked up him, and he had a great game last game. And so there's a lot of players that have come through the Capital Region, but a good football team. Rubens Joseph, who won a championship with us at offensive line in 21. And so
huge human.
Yeah, so there's a lot of players that we're all familiar with. It's going to be a great game, a game about just who executes their game plan better and who makes the better adjustments at halftime. But ultimately, it's going to be a fun game. We're excited for it. Friday night game. I've never done a Friday night game here in the Capital Region, so hopefully everybody will get their tickets, come on out. Nobody's, most of the people aren't working on Saturday, so hopefully we can pack the house and do those things and put on a great show and show West Texas some Capital Region hospitality.
How much fun is it going to be to beat the team from Odessa under the Friday Night Lights? Just to beat them in their own thing. Like, Friday Night Lights is so important to Odessa, and then we just slap them around a little bit.
I like the sounds of that.
All right, good.
I like the sound.
See, I'm not holding back anymore. I was talking to their owner, Zach Bugg, and he thinks they're pretty good. And when the first time I ever met Zach, we had a bottle bet over which team was going to win. A lot of things have gotten in the way of that bottle bet. So, Zach, if you're paying attention, pick a bottle. I've got one. You've got one. Let's bet a bottle on Friday night. I'm here for you. I think because I believe in my guys. I believe in my guys top to bottom. I think they're the best, and I think it's cute that you had to go get our old guys to have a chance to compete. Block University again live at Cugino's, and all right. So we got West Texas coming up. It is when you look at, if you were to do a power rankings right now, would you be willing to do a power ranking? Would you?
I mean, maybe not a power ranking. I'm not trying to give anybody any bulletin board material. We know everybody tries to give us their best shot. But again, if you're looking at the four teams, towards the top, obviously you're looking at an Orlando, you're looking at a West Texas, you're looking at a Nashville. You've also got teams in Salina and Billings that are playing very well. So the top part of our league is incredible. I look forward, obviously, to how we're going to do the playoff seeding and those announcements coming up. But I'm super excited. Right now for us, we're just focused on putting our heads down and winning as many games as we can through the course of the season and getting ready for the playoffs. So we just like to see us on top of the standings right now. Our offense is playing at a high level. We've only, missed one drive in 3 games. So again, we're doing a credible job of just moving the ball offensively. And then our defense, who's young, they're only getting better and better every game. And so we got a lot to look forward to, a lot of work to do. But ultimately, again, we really enjoy this football team, and we feel that we can go a long way if we continue to work hard.
All right, Coach, before we go and enjoy some of these wings and this pizza, let's do some questions from the flock right now. Denise, earlier, first things first, can we talk about Nick Hake's touchdown?
Heads up touchdown, and that was also helped by Shorts. Obviously, again, the ball on the ground, Hake jumps on it. You can hear Shorts screaming, get up, get up, get up, nobody touched you. And so that was great heads up play by Shorts, and ultimately Nick was able to jump up and run for a touchdown. And that's just a great moment. Super excited for him to be able to score a touchdown in the game. But we had a really great defensive effort when we played Southwest Kansas.
All right, speaking of Hague, can we talk about the number?
Sure.
Hague has been wearing number 15 this season. He has not been thrilled about that. So a lot of work from you, a little bit of work from me. We now have his 47 back. For those of you who have been ordering number 15 Hague jerseys, I haven't ordered them yet. I'm going to reach out to each one of you individually and see which number you'd prefer. I think he would prefer if you wore 47 in his honor.
He would. It is, I'm not a huge the number thing. As a coach, it's one of my worst things in training camp is to figure out everybody's number. Everybody wants something different. Everybody wants the same numbers. And so it's really a brutal process. I let our vets, or returning players pick their numbers from the previous year. And then it kind of goes on a seniority-based system on picking the numbers. And so, of course, we got the order, come in this year. Of course, Hague's jersey was not a part of it. I had to break him the news and put him in the 15 jersey. And, boy, that has spurred a fury in this man that has no bounds. And it is just it's just been very comical to hear him discuss jerseys through the first couple of games. But he was, I could have messed with him, and there was everybody like, we should mess with him when the jersey came in. I ultimately just put a picture of it right into our group, and I just said, hey, jerseys arrived, and he was super excited. He called up right after that. He was super, super excited to have his jersey. And like I said, there's not that many people that have that much, concern for their jersey numbers, but Hayes deserves that. Obviously, he's been a long time vet, and he's in the later stage of his career. So ultimately, we were able to figure it out. We finally got it. All the delays, everything that's happened to get it there, it's here. And so Friday night, he'll be able to don his number 47. It's also going to be a whiteout, so we're actually going to wear our white jerseys on Friday night. So if everybody wants to wear white and we can white the building out on a Friday night, that would be great. But
I'm
it's going
fat.
to be
I look like an iceberg. If I wear all white, I'm gonna look like a freaking land iceberg.
Oh, good stuff.
Oh, Lou's getting those wings. I'll do mild. I'm crispy. I'm a crispy guy. All right. So, but he's played so good in the 15. Like, is there any?
I told him I've had some jokes, and they'll keep those in the house. But we told him, hey, if you don't come out firing in the 47, we will definitely be dangling that 15 at halftime. So we'll see what happens.
We got Father Flocker over here. Steve is in the house. 50-50 tickets on sale Friday night on the concourse, section 115 by the parking garage entrance. There's a coloring station, temporary tattoos, section 110. So Flock support's been great. Just the stuff they've been bringing for the kids, the 50-50 raffle, which they're using, to sustain Flock support, to sustain some stuff for the guys, the Adopt a Player program. Everybody, a lot of people here. Lisa's here. She's been, getting stuff so the guys all have something cool with them when they go on the road. I don't think everybody realizes we take these guys out of their homes for months. They come here, they make it their home, but at the same time, those little acts of kindness go a long way.
1,000%. Flock Sport is doing a great job of making our kids feel at home. They were so appreciative of all the bags. I mean, we had, 25 bags in the office to give out to the players. They were all super excited when they came to pick them up. They still talk about it. So just awesome little things that you could do for these kids while they're on the road. We really have a very supportive system all the way around our organization. And so it's always great to see those things happen.
A lot of people asking, we don't know 100% where how the Arena Bowl is going to go, correct? Like we don't have that answer yet.
Correct. Right? Playoff seedings and championship game locations and all those things. Those are things that are being worked on, and those things will be announced soon.
All right. I like this one, Mickey. So glad that DP is back here where he belongs, especially how last season ended with Orlando. He's the GOAT. I mean, you can speak to that as well. Our core went to Orlando, and thank God y'all came back.
Just a season to forget. It was just no fun. I mean, with all the work that was put in the off season, it was just unfortunate. Just something I'll just keep it in the memory banks as a memory, but. Ultimately, I don't even want to think too much about it, but it was just odd going to somewhere else and setting up camp and being a part of another organization without being involved in our way of doing things. And so, if you've ever maybe changed companies and you go somewhere else and the culture is 1,000% different than what you're used to. We went through all those things last year. Obviously, I always wish Orlando the best. Wish Coach Burt the best, and there's a lot of good quality players on that football team, but ultimately it just wasn't the kind of place that fit just how we want to play the game, and ultimately we were glad to come back.
All right, before we go, one more. Dan Buka Dan said here we go. He said yours needs
here
work.
We go.
He said it needs work, Coach. So we got to work on that. I guess we'll keep working on it for you, Dan. We are live here at Cugino's Pizzaria in Rensselaer. That is Flock University for the week. Thanks to all the players for coming out. Thanks to Lou and the crew for feeding us all, man. Come on now. How good is that food? What's up? Even the food here is so good that game day ops Nick has been quiet. That's how good the food is. I have in the few months that I've got to know that kid, he doesn't breathe. He doesn't sleep. He's like a talking shark. So it's good to have that going. Hey Lou, 5 slices. How does that set him up for the huge Lou challenge? I like it. He swears he's gonna come do it. All right, everybody. Round of applause for our host, Cugino, Lou, everybody here. Thank you so much. For the Firebirds players who are outside eating, he is the head coach, the general manager, offensive coordinator. He helped design the dang uniforms. Damon Ware, everyone. I ride his coattails with sheer grace. I'm your team president, Jeff Levack.
I love it.
Greatest group of fans in the entire world of arena football. The Flock, everybody.
Hey.
And then, of course, I'm sorry, Benny Ice, everyone's favorite, Benny Ice. Can't end an episode of Flock University without saying 2 simple words. 1, 2, 3. Flock you.